Welcome to Azure Security Engineer Practice Questions Part 1. We are going to cover 15 real exam questions in this video. Question 1. You are testing an Azure Kubernetes Service (AKS) cluster. The cluster is configured as shown in the exhibit. You plan to deploy the cluster to production. You disable HTTP application routing. You need to implement application routing that will provide reverse proxy and TLS termination for AKS services by using a single IP address. What should you do? Create an AKS ingress controller. Install the Container Network Interface (SNI) plugin. Create an Azure Standard Load Balancer. Create an Azure Basic Load Balancer. Answer is create an AKS ingress controller. Question 2. On Monday, you configure an email notification in Microsoft Defender for Cloud to notify user 1 at contoso.com about alerts that have a severity level of low, medium, or high. On Tuesday, Microsoft Defender for Cloud generates the security alerts shown in the following table. How many email notifications will user 1 at contoso.com receive on Tuesday? Answer. Total number of Microsoft Defender for Cloud email notifications about an RDP brute force attack on Tuesday is 4. Total number of Microsoft Defender for Cloud email notifications on Tuesday is 7. Question 3. You have an Azure subscription that contains an Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, tenant and a user named user1. The app registration settings for the tenant are configured as shown in the following exhibit. You plan to deploy an app named app1. You need to ensure that user1 can register app1 in Azure AD. The solution must use the principle of least privilege. Which role should you assign to user1? A. App configuration data owner for the subscription. B. Managed application contributor for the subscription. C. Cloud application administrator in Azure AD. D. Application developer in Azure AD. Answer is application developer in Azure AD. Question 4. You have an Azure subscription that uses Microsoft Defender for Cloud. The subscription contains the Azure policy definitions shown in the following table. Which definitions can be assigned as a security policy in Defender for Cloud? A. Policy 1 and Policy 2 only. B. Initiative 1 and Initiative 2 only. C. Policy 1 and Initiative 1 only. D. Policy 2 and Initiative 2 only. E. Policy 1, Policy 2, Initiative 1, and Initiative 2. Answer. D. Policy 1, Policy 2, Initiative 1, and Initiative 2. Question 5. You have an Azure subscription that contains an Azure SQL database logic server named SQL and an Azure virtual machine named VM1. VM1 uses a private IP address only. The firewall and virtual network settings for SQL1 are shown. You need to ensure that VM1 can connect to SQL1. The solution must use the principle of least privilege. What should you do? A. Add an existing virtual network. B. Set connection policy to proxy. C. Create a new firewall rule. D. Set allow Azure services and resources to access this server to yes. Answer is create a new firewall rule. Question 6. You have an Azure subscription that contains an Azure SQL database named SQL1. You plan to audit SQL1. You need to configure the audit log destination. The solution must meet the following requirements to support querying events by using the Custo query language. To minimize administrative effort, what should you configure? A. An event hub. B. A storage account. C. A log analytics workspace. Answer is a log analytics workspace. Question 7. You have been tasked with configuring an access review, which you plan to assign to a new collection of reviews. You also have to make sure that the reviews can be reviewed by resource owners. You start by creating an access review program and an access review control. You now need to configure the reviewers. Which of the following should you set reviewers to? Selected users, members, self, group owners, anyone. Answer. C. Group owners. Question 8. You have the Azure resource shown in the table. You need to meet the following requirements. Internet-facing virtual machines must be protected by using network security groups, NSGs. All the virtual machines must have disk encryption enabled. What is the minimum number of security that you should create in Azure Security Center? A1, B2, C3, D4. Answer. D. 4. You have an Azure subscription named Sub1. Sub 1 has an Azure storage account named Storage 1 that contains the resources shown in the table. You generate a shared access signature (SAS) to connect to the blob service and the file service. Which tool can you use to access the contents in container 1 and share by using the SAS? Answer: Tools for container 1, Azure Storage Explorer. Tools for share 1, Azure Storage Explorer. Question 10. You have an Azure Key Vault named Vault 1 that stores the resources shown in table. Which resources support the creation of a rotation policy? Key 1 only, cert 1 only, key 1 and secret 1 only, key 1 and cert 1 only, secret 1 and cert 1 only, key 1, secret 1 and cert 1. Answer is key 1 and secret 1 only. Question 10. You have the Azure virtual machines shown in the table. Each virtual machine has a single network interface. You add the network interface of VM1 to an application security group named ASG1. You need to identify the network interfaces of which virtual machines you can add to ASG1. What should you identify? VM2 only, VM2, VM3, VM4, and VM5, VM2, VM3, and VM5 only, VM2 and VM3 only. Answer is VM2 and VM3 only. Question 12. You have an Azure subscription that contains the resources shown in the table. You need to ensure that server admins can perform the following tasks: create virtual machine to the existing virtual network in RG2 only. The solution must use the principle of least privilege. Which two role-based access control (RBAC) roles should you assign to server admins? The contributor role for the subscription, the network contributor role for RG2, a custom RBAC role for the subscription, a custom RBAC role for RG2, the network contributor role for RG1. The virtual machine contributor role for RG1. Answer is D, custom RBAC role for RG2F, the virtual machine contributor role for RG1. Question 13. You have an Azure subscription named Sub 1. In Azure Security Center, you have a workflow automation named WF1. WF1 is configured to send an email message to a user named User1. You need to modify WF1 to send email messages to a distribution group named Alerts. What should you use to modify WF1? Azure Application Insights, Azure Monitor, Azure Logic Apps Designer, Azure DevOps. Answer is C, Azure Logic Apps Design. Question 14. You have an Azure subscription. You create an Azure web app named Contoso 1812 that uses an S1 app service plan. You create a DNS record for www.contoso.com that points to the IP address of Contoso 1812. You need to ensure that users can access Contoso 1812 by using the https://www.contoso.com URL. Which two actions should you perform? Each correct answer presents part of the solution. Turn on the system assigned managed identity for Contoso 1812. Add a host name to Contoso 1812. Scale out the app service plan of Contoso 1812. Add a deployment slot to Contoso 1812. Scale up the app service plan of Contoso 1812. Upload a PFX file to Contoso 1812. Answer is add a host name to Contoso 1812. And upload a PFX file to Contoso 1812. Question 15. You have three on-premises servers named Server 1, Server 2, and Server 3 that run Windows Server 1 and Server 2 and located on the internal network. Server 3 is located on the premises network. All servers have access to Azure. From Azure Sentinel, you install a Windows Firewall data connector. You need to collect Microsoft Defender firewall data from the servers for Azure Sentinel. What should you do? Create an event subscription from Server 1, Server 2 and Server 3. Install the on-premises data gateway on each server. Install the Microsoft agent on each server. Install the Microsoft agent on Server 1 and Server 2. Install the on-premises data gateway on Server 3. Answer C. Answer is install the Microsoft agent on each server. Thank you for watching part 1 of Arizona 500 series. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.